hopefully more to come. Hopefully they'll come sooner than later, but time and money is going to dictate on the progress of my 57 Chevrolet pickup truck. The truck cab is behind me here. I have it sitting on a roll-around cart. The frame is over here to my right. I'm saving up for the body panels right now. Just about got everything that I need to redo the cab. I was going to buy them a piece at a time, but then I seen where if you purchase over $1,000, there's no shipping, and that would save me quite a bit. I could buy a bunch of panels for what it would cost for the shipping. But in the meantime, while I am saving up money for the panels, I decided I'm going to start working on the block. This is the 454 big block Chevy that I'm going to build to put inside the truck. There's several things that I'm going to do to the block that I can do that's not going to cost me much money, but it's going to help out a lot in the long run as far as maybe dependability, and if something happens that to the block, to the motor, that it might save it a little bit. One of the things that I'm going to do is you have the lifter gallery here, and I'm going to take little grinders and with little grinding wheels, and I'm going to smooth all that area down so the oil return will be smooth and easy. We have the areas here that I'm pointing out. You should see a little picture down there at the bottom of the frame where there's rough castings, and I'm going to take and clean all that out. And also too, over these holes I'm going to be putting screens over top of epoxy and screens, and I'm going to glue magnets, epoxy magnets, to catch small metal fragments. There's a lot of places on the block that also have rough casting. Over here by the oil filter, you should be seeing a picture of that now, what I'm talking about. Rough castings there. There's several different places on the block that have rough casting marks that I'm going to be grinding down. There's an area here that'll be smoothed out inside the oil filter return, and that'll help also on lubrication of the block. The block is a 2-bolt main block, and I haven't made up my mind fully if I'm going to make it a 4-bolt main or a 2-bolt main. I have the motor turned upside down, and you can't see it right now because I think it's out of the level of the camera. But basically, in a nutshell, and you should be seeing some pictures in the frame what I'm talking about, a 2-bolt main, you have your crankshaft going down through the center line, and then you have caps that hold the main journals in. A 2-bolt main is 2 bolts. 2 bolts hold the main caps, and a 4-bolt main will have 2 more bolts on each side of the main caps. Your factory ones have the bolts go straight in. You have some aftermarket ones that are called splayed, and they go in an angle and supposedly grab more meat of the block. I haven't decided fully what I'm going to do. I've read that 2 bolts is fine, but they recommend that you put the studs in, so instead of a bolt going through, you have a stud going through with it coming up and threads on it, and then you put the nuts down on the studs, and supposedly that's stronger. I'm going to check into it, see what the cost is of having 4-bolt main. I'd like to have a 4-bolt main, but we'll see. My plans is I have a small B&M blower. I forget what the numbers are right now. I've had it for a little while, and I'm going to be putting this small B&M blower on it. Low compression. I'll check and find out what the best. it's not going to be a big tire burner. I want it to where when I get down on it, it'll put you in the seat pretty good, but also too, I want to be able to drive it around to car shows and things of that nature. Like I said, the cab is behind me, and that's going to be another project in of itself. I have this MIG welder. I took vocational welding when I was in high school, and it might take a little bit of practice, but I think I can learn how to get back on the horse again and take care of it and weld the panels in. Just take my time and do it properly. It's in kind of bad shape, but it's a 1957 model. They're kind of hard to come by and getting harder to come by all the time. The floorboard is in not too bad shape. It kind of looks rough, but there's some areas of the floorboard that's going to have to be replaced. There's an instep. Should be seeing a picture of it now. Those things are notorious for rusting out on these trucks. All that's going to have to be replaced. Cab corners, again, a bad place for rust, and I'll have those new. There's a place called LMC body panels. I've been reading a lot of the magazines, trucking magazines, classic trucks, and it seems like that's most of the time that's what they use. It seems like they are good quality panels, and that's what I'll be using. The firewall is in bad shape. That's going to have to be cut out. I was going to use the factory, another factory firewall, but the thing about with the 57s, you can have them with a smooth firewall, and that's what I want. I don't want it all cluttered up. And to buy a factory firewall and then go back, it just didn't seem like it was a good idea to buy a factory firewall with all the holes in it and then have to go back in and plug the holes and weld the holes up and grind them down. I found a place, it's called, and again I've seen that in the trucking magazines, it's a place called Direct Sheet Metal, and they sell aftermarket firewalls that fit in. And also too, it has a 4-inch setback recessed firewall, and that'll make it good to set the engine back a little bit better for handling. Like I say, to be a good, clean, smooth firewall. I had the, like I said, I had the frame over here to my right. You should be seeing a little video of it now. It's solid. It's a good solid frame. It's a short bed frame. Originally this truck was a long bed frame, but somebody had taken and welded a Nova subframe underneath the front of it and did a really poor job at it. It was so bad it really couldn't be used. So I got rid of that and I bought me a short bed frame. I'm going to take, for the front suspension, I'm going to use a Mustang 2 kit. Planning on getting that from Fat Man Fabrications. So to be independent front suspension instead of the straight front axle. And for the rear end, I'm going to chop that off and purchase an Alston or a Morrison kit. I forget the first name of it. It's something Art Morrison. Yes, Art Morrison kit. Those seem like they're pretty good, fairly reasonable price to narrow the rear end. And has some big wide tires go up underneath the rear end. I'm going to set it down low. The plan is painted it black with flames, kind of like the 50s look. I think that's going to be it. I guess the next video you'll be seeing is where I have done what I just got through describing. So keep looking and I'll post more videos.